Single.
And then off again.
Single.
So when you're doing your evaluations, you should be looking out for, is it got good structure, easy to follow the transitions that take the listener from one topic to another easily. And Ruben's title has been, what am I going to do with my life? Ruben.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. It's a glorious hot summer's day, the kind of day you want to go for a swim, maybe sunbathe a bit or chat on the beach with your friends. It's the summer of 1988. Unfortunately for me, I'm not outside enjoying this lovely weather. I'm sitting inside at home. I'm sitting at a big round table having a conversation with my parents. I'm 17 and I've just reached the end of my school days, the end of my childhood. We're having a conversation at the round table. It revolves about a subject which has been concerning me for some time. What am I going to do with my life? When am I going to get a job? Well, I've been looking at these books at school, careers advice books, and despite the fact that I'd read several of them, I couldn't find a thing to inspire me, something to do with my life. So the discussion went round and round and round the table. And eventually my dad, losing patience, sort of flew off tangentially and said, "Ruben, you're going to go and work with Rear Admiral Stewart." Well, my dad was a joiner, and he just made some windows for Rear Admiral Stewart. And these windows needed painting. So off I went. This was going to be a long job, because Rear Admiral Stewart had a big house. I discussed my problem with Rear Admiral Stewart over a number of coffee and tea breaks, sitting at his oak table in the kitchen. What am I going to do, Rear Admiral Stewart? Well, Rear Admiral Stewart let me in on the secret first. He wasn't actually a Rear Admiral, he was a petty officer in the Royal Navy. And while I was supposed to be painting his windows, we actually spent most of the time talking about the Royal Navy. And he told me of yarns about his life at sea, and all the exciting things he'd done. And it sounded very exciting, even though he wasn't really a Rear Admiral. Anyway, eventually the painting was finished, all the windows were complete. It was payday. At the oak table in the kitchen was my pay, one £50 note, bright crisp new one. And I looked at this £50 note and thought, I wonder if this is what I want to do with my life. I could earn money, that is, not painting windows. I could join the Navy, see the world, see some far-flung places. Well, first place I had to go and visit was the Navy Careers Office in Truro. I went along, my mum had dressed me up, put my suit on, my shirt, tie, Windsor knot, digging in, never so nervous. I went along, warrant officer, that's the highest non-commissioned rank, invites me in, takes me to his stuffy office at the back and says, "Sit down at my desk," it's a big desk, leather-bound desk. "I'm going to give you an aptitude test, or 2 or 3. I'll be back, here's the sheet of papers, it's quite clear what to do, I'll be back in an hour." Off you go. It's all multiple choice, the test. So I sit down, desk, A, B, don't know, D maybe, A. I'm worrying all the time, I'm in a panic. What if I fail the test? What if my dreams come to nothing? What if I don't find what I want to do in my life? What if I can't? Very quickly the hour is over. The warrant officer comes back in. He looks through it. "Okay, off you go for a tea break, Mr. Welch. I'll mark this." Sits down and marks it. I rush back in very quickly, shortly afterwards. He says, "Have you considered joining as an engineer, maybe as an artificer's apprentice? You can make a decision on what exactly you want to do at the end. You could do marine engineering or air engineering or maybe weapons engineering." I was so excited. I found something to do with my life at last. I can't join till May, this is 6 months later. May the 8th, 1989. It quickly arrives. I wave farewell to home, family, my childhood. I'm off to become a man and find my way in the world. First of all, the first part of my feature is at HMS Raleigh in Plymouth, Tor Point actually, I think. I'm there with 120 other young men about the same age as me, 17, maybe 18. We're starting a 13-week course. We're all fresh from school, and a large part of our course involves sitting at desks again, working away, doing academic subjects. However, some of it's fun as well. We've got assault courses and weapons training. We've got things like firefighting. We've also got boring stuff like walking around the parade ground with a really uncomfortable squeaky patent leather shoes on. Then onto another memorable table. In front of me, or in front of us all, because there's 120 of us, there's a pile of clothes. There's 120 piles of clothes, all stacked up, most of them A4 side, all crisply and neatly ironed. It's a kit. Top of mine, there's my name badge on my blue number 8 shirt, Welch. Next to it, the ID tags. Welch, Ruben, D218782 Mike, A, rhesus positive. That's me. A number. Well, beside the shirts as well, something perhaps more important, a form telling me that if I completed basic training, I'd have to sign up for 22 years with the Royal Navy until I was 40. 40, can you imagine at the age of 18? I found what I wanted to do though, and even though 40 seemed to be the furthest thing in the whole, I mean nobody could live to be that old, ever. That's what I was going to do. I found my way in life, I thought. Well, I was 18 then, I'm 36 now, so that was half a lifetime ago. 18. When I was 18, I didn't have the vaguest notion of what I was really doing in life, where I was going. And even at 36, all I've really decided is that making your way in life is actually an ongoing journey that you have to decide. Maybe it's the same for most of you, I don't know. My life, I suppose, is navigated by a very strange course to get to where I am today. I'm not sure I found a star to sail by. Maybe the next 36 years will enlighten me further, I don't know. It would be nice to think that at 72, I could be here looking back half a lifetime again, to an evening where, in fact, we normally have a table here, but we don't for some reason tonight. But at 72, I can look back on a life and say, well, what did I do with my life? And I hope that the answer is I found ways to make my life fulfilling. A poet said something along the lines of, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. And I think those two things would be a good ambition to achieve for anybody in a lifetime, whether they're a rear admiral